Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, that's Connor, and this is this week's TV news discussion, which I'm surprised that we're this close to Christmas and we're still having pretty full news weeks.
It's because at the minute, at least, I feel like we've still got the dredges of people still to tell us what's coming back after.
There's a little bit of that at the start of the news, but a lot of it's actually that some of the networks are doing pilot season a little bit early in terms of their announcements.
How dare they?
And there's a reason for that. Mainly, like there's always such a crunch come actual pilot season to get casting done for everything that they're starting that a little bit early, announcing their pilots just a little bit sooner. Not all of them, but spreading it out a little bit, which is
I
fine.
don't like this.
I'm kind of cool with it. But yeah, so this is the news video. Again, as always with this, it's always the end of the week. We tangent a bit, we just kind of casually chat about all the new shows that they're announcing and stuff, and hopefully have a bit of fun. So that's what's in store. And we will probably still have a news show next week. If they give us something to talk about, we'll talk about it. That's basically my philosophy going through Christmas.
Well, yeah, and obviously we have our end stuff of the week, and I suppose as long as we've got content.
That was like your computer censored what you said there because it did like this distortion thing at the start. So it was like at the start of the week, and it was just yeah. So what did you say there?
I said, and obviously we have our segment at the end where we talk about our stuff of the week.
Yeah, it was the word segment and it's censored, so it was hard to. I had no idea. I had no idea what you just said. But yeah, okay, so that's the plan, guys. So we're going to talk about news. So before we get to new things they've announced, let's get to some renewals and some return dates for mid-season stuff. First up, Luke Cage has been renewed for season 2 at Netflix.
What a shock.
I can't believe it. I'm positively dumbfounded.
I know.
Positively. In all serious note, this means they have a packed schedule because we're expecting next year to have Iron Fist, which is confirmed. That's got a date. Defenders, which is all but confirmed. You know, they've shot it. They've talked about it being 8 episodes. The rest of it.
Yeah.
Punisher's already shooting, which makes me think we're also getting that next year at the end.
Yep.
I think that's a fair assumption. We already have Daredevil season 3 renewed, or for season 3. You know what I mean? Season 3 is confirmed, and now we have Luke Cage season 2. So that would make me think that 2018 would be Daredevil season 3 and Luke Cage season 2.
What about Jessica Jones?
Oh yeah, Jessica Jones season 2 still to have. That was renewed before Daredevil season 3 was. So Jessica Jones, then Daredevil, and then if we get 3 again, Luke Cage.
Oh man, this is getting hectic. I mean, you say it's packed, but obviously when we first got this, they told us 4 shows plus Defenders are coming.
Well, yeah, but that was all fine when it was just those. But now we have season 2s and 3s of things, and it's like this weird thing where they're not doing shows yearly. It's like this rotating thing through the shows. So it's kind of weird. It's kind of different, which is why I think we'll be moving to 3 a year permanently. Just because if they renew Iron Fist after season 1 for season 2, and then if we start getting season 3s of Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, like Punisher season 2 maybe, if we end up with a Ghost Rider, like how much does this all stack up?
Yeah, they have to start pumping them out quicker.
Season
It'll
2,
get to it might get to a point where we have to get every 3 months.
season 2 of the Fit, which honestly I think is fine. I think, because if it's 3, it'd be every 4 months, which I think would also be cool. So it's a nice,
Yeah.
spacing out of them. What one, early, one summer, one late in the year.
Well, at the minute we have what? March coming.
It's March and November, October time, typically right now.
Yeah, which is quite a big gap, really.
Yeah, so
just
one in the middle.
yeah, maybe push that second one to guarantee it in November. Throw one in like July.
Yeah. Which is, I think, what they're probably going to do next year with Defenders, but will they do that with, because that's kind of a weird one because it's shorter, like maybe they
And
don't
it
count
feels
it.
like a natural event as well, so
Yeah.
it kind of plays into that summer blockbuster feeling.
Yeah, so whether or not they do that afterwards, but I feel like they've got so many shows renewed now that they kind of have to start switching to 3 year. I just hit my desk and that kind of hurt. Ow. Anyway, let's move on to next thing. Netflix, once again, they have announced both a return date for Sense8 for the second season, which is going to be back on May 5th, 2017, of course. But however, they also announced a 2-hour Christmas special, which is going to be going on Netflix on the 23rd of December, this month. So,
Hmm.
interesting.
Okay.
They're doing a Christmas special. It's kind of weird.
It's the first Netflix Christmas special, right?
Not counting like comedy specials and stuff or like standalone things. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, from like dramas and.
because they did that Bill Murray Christmas thing a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I mean, for one of their pre-existing shows.
Yeah, yeah, certainly interesting. Now, of course, you're probably saying, but you didn't review season 1. Why are we talking about this? We might review season 2. There is no hope in hell we're doing the Christmas special. There is no way we can be caught up in time for that. We just have our schedules are too packed for it. But there is a chance we will cover season 2 when it hits next year. So, worth mentioning. This next bit of news is going to be exciting for you. Now, it's not Mermaid Wars. It's not The Deep.
Ah, damn it.
Right? It's not that show. No news on that this week, Connor. I do apologise.
Can I just point out? Obviously, we have the Malfas Facebook group, which you
Yes.
should go and join. There's my camera. You should go and join. And we
Why should they go and join? You can't even tell people where your camera is. You don't know where it is. Come join with these idiots who don't even know where the camera is.
It used to be on that monitor, and it was spent so long there. It was there for like 2 years, and I thought, I'm going to look over to that monitor where it always was, and then I've moved it, so, But my point is, we do our end-of-year awards nominations, and I'm fairly certain I'm the only person to have nominated The Deep for most anticipated 2017 show.
I think you're being a bit optimistic, even thinking that's going to be hitting in 2017 at this rate.
Oh, no, it's coming. They're not going to let me down like that.
Sure, we'll see. But do you want the good news that's going to make you really happy?
I do. I'd love some good news.
Thursday, February 2nd is the premiere of Powerless.
Yes! It's actually happening.
It's happening.
I was convinced they'd just killed it.
Because the showrunner departed, and we thought it might just be killed. But no, they've announced the premiere date. It's coming. We're getting it.
Oh, man, I'm so happy.
Early February.
I just hope it lives up to the trailer.
As do I.
And even if the first episode's shaky, I'm going to stick with it because first episode comedies.
Yeah, it's funny as well though, because we don't cover comedies ongoing, but I've got a funny feeling we might want to with that one just because it fits.
Just
in
so we
with...
can geek out at every reference.
Just because we do all the like 4 other DC shows a week, it just kind of makes sense.
Yeah, we do everything DC except Gotham, which can burn in a pit.
Yeah. Plus, it's on Thursday, and Legends won't be on Thursday anymore, so something needs to
And
fill
we won't
that
have
slot.
Pitch either.
And we won't have Pitch. Yeah.
So yeah.
But I'm thinking
season.
Legends specifically, look, it's a DC.
The superhero slot. Yeah, I get that. I'm just saying, like in general, our Thursdays are wide open right now.
But no, Powerless, start of February. Looking forward to it.
I approve.
And if you don't remember what this is, of course, it is the workplace sitcom that is set in the DC universe, and it's a bunch of insurance people and it's Vanessa Hudgens in it, Danny Pudi's in it, cast looks good. Alan Tudyk, of course, yeah, he's in it. And we're excited about it because we love a lot of those cast members, and we love this idea, and we're all DC fans. So
And it had a really great trailer.
and had a good trailer, yeah. So next up, HBO has announced The Leftovers season 3 will be coming back in April. They didn't give us a specific date, but they'll announce that later. But it's coming back in April. It's going to be an 8-episode final season, which again, much like Sense8, we're hoping to be caught up in time so that we can review the final season episode by episode as it airs.
Yeah, I watched all of season 1. I really liked it. It kind of told a complete story to the point where I didn't feel the need to watch season 2 at the time.
We actually, back when Almost Cancelled was a weekly podcast where it was me and other people. Alex was still here, and the other guys, Mario and Alan, and they all hated it. And I kind of liked it. I had some qualms with it. And we ended up dropping it around like episode 7, and I just never get around to finishing. So I actually did like most of it from what I've seen. So I will be happily catching up.
Also, I want to point out, like many HBO things, it seems, kind of worth watching for the music alone, because that score was fantastic.
Yeah, the score was really good.
The Max Richter, I believe, is the composer. The piano pieces were phenomenal.
Yeah, the score was really good. I'm giving my cat any trouble because he pulled my headphones off there. I don't know if you've seen that.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I thought about laughing. I thought, no, I'm not going to, because Cat did good.
It was this one. Now he's hitting the pop shield. Cat, what do you have to say for yourself? You're a disappointment. Go away. Anyway, let's move on. So yeah, that's The Leftovers season 3 coming in April. So I know people raved about season 2. Like people who were shaky on season 1 were raving that season 2 was like one of the best shows on TV. So I am looking forward to catching up on that. And then the final date that we have announced is FX have announced the start date for Legion, which is also coming in February, much like Powerless. It's coming in Wednesday, the 8th of February on FX. And the Legion, of course, is the X-Men TV show that focuses on Xavier's son and Audrey Plaza, isn't it? Or yeah, Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah, she is.
I said Audrey there. That's why I was correct.
Oh, did
myself.
you?
Yeah.
I didn't even hear your mistake.
Yeah, Aubrey Plaza. I do apologise. But she's going to be in it. And what I forgot or I didn't know when I watched, because they released a trailer with this news, which we both watched, just a minute long sort of tease. It looks pretty good. It doesn't look super cheap or anything like that. It also mentions it's from one of the people from behind Fargo, which really...
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah. That was one of the things that had me like clued onto it in the first place.
I think we talked about it. I think I just forgot it. But
Noah Hawley, right?
Yeah, when it popped up on the trailer, I was like, huh, maybe this will be good. So I'm cautiously... Yeah, I think my only disinterest in this just comes from the fact that I've never really cared about Legion as a character, or even know that much about him. But
hey, this could be the time that they change your mind.
It could be, and we'll see what sort of X-Men connections it has and whatever else.
Yeah, because I'm sure they have said that because they questioned, will it even address that he's Xavier's son because rights issues and all sorts, and he said, no, you can't have this and not address that. So it is going to come up at some point.
And there is no rights issues.
No, I know, but people keep asking about it, and
Yeah, because just to clarify this, believe it or not, Marvel still have TV rights to the X-Men.
Yeah.
Marvel could actually make a Netflix X-Men show if they wanted to.
They could, but I think at some point they might have implied it's actually part of the Fox universe.
Yeah, they might have done. Yeah.
Which is why that's why I meant about rights issues and stuff like that.
Yeah, but
that would be a bit different.
Well, yeah, but if they're going to say that, then they've already worked that out.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. People were asking about it, and they're going to go into that. So it's because it looks very much just psychological rather than focusing on any powers or anything like that. From what we've seen of the trailers.
Yeah. Although I'm sure the powers will play into it, but certainly
I'm sure they will. Yeah.
Certainly, him having his telepathy and all that's really messing with his head, so it's going to focus a lot on that. So, and that Legion's coming February 8th, so obviously we'll be covering it when it hits. So
obviously, yeah.
Look forward to that. And speaking of Marvel, a little bit of news on the Inhumans this week. I know, a lot of Marvel news, because we had Luke Cage earlier as well. But they've got a showrunner for the Inhumans, and it's going to be Scott Buck, who you're probably going, who's Scott Buck? I didn't know his name either. The reason why it's of note is because he's actually the showrunner of Iron Fist as well.
Oh, okay.
So it's interesting they've went with someone from one of the Netflix shows to take over Inhumans.
That is interesting. I also thought, when this came up, we were speculating about the cinema release. I think they said it's getting a 2-week run in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the time, I remember speculating, saying, maybe it was just a one-night thing. We were a little bit concerned.
Yeah, and they also confirmed that some of the rest of the episodes will also still be shot in IMAX cameras. It's not just the first two.
Yeah, I think they said certain sequences, didn't they?
Yeah, which makes sense, because even the movies that have been filmed with IMAX...
Yeah, they're never all IMAX, are they? They're the scenes.
Yeah, it's always specific sequences, which may end up meaning this may be one of the best-looking TV shows of all goddamn time.
There's a very good chance of that. As long as the direction is up there to put these cameras to use.
I mean, what really rivals it, if, stuff, documentaries really, stuff like Planet Earth, that sort of stuff that has, all that kind of thing. But in terms of, drama, scripted, not even.
But just to give a shout out, Planet Earth 2. If you haven't watched it at all, obviously it's just finished, I think, recently, the last couple of weeks. Phenomenal.
So is that the one where it's sort of dickish wells and not evil wells?
That's the one, yeah.
Just making sure. Come on, I had to make that joke. I had to make that joke.
I know, but God damn it.
So that's the Inhumans. They also confirmed it was a shorter episode. I think it was 8, they said. I don't have it in front of me.
8, I think.
Yeah, but I think they said it was 8 episodes, which is also very interesting. And it also makes it feel less likely that it's replacing S.H.I.E.L.D. It sounds like it's just going to be its...
Yeah, because that's another thing. We were speculating they'd have a season of overlap and then this would take over. But it feels more like, no, this is a a limited series and it's actually a replacement for the movie, like a more direct replacement than we thought.
That's it. I won't call it a limited series just because I do think the possibility is there for season 2. You know, I don't think it's... Because to me, a limited series is one and done, you know?
Sure. What I mean by that is this is more... Maybe they had a script for the movie and it was just too big, so they've expanded it to a TV 8 episodes, and season 2 would essentially be the movie sequel. So it kind of feels like limited series in that sense.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but, you know, like...
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't call Stranger Things a limited series, although some people might. I often... The Emmys, like, definition of a miniseries baffles me every single year. I'm like, why does this count as a miniseries, but that counts as, you know, as a regular series? You know, it was like Fargo was a miniseries, but True Detective wasn't. That may not be the right, but it was something like that, where it was like, they're both anthology shows. Like, why does one count as a mini?
Yeah, like, at least with those, I could argue, they're a miniseries because anthology.
But you can't count one and not the other.
Yeah, definitely.
So.
Well, I mean,
you can't.
I could see Fargo, at least the stories are still connected to some degree. There is something.
Yeah, but I'm positive whatever it was, Fargo was the other way around. That was the one that was counted as the mini.
Right, okay, that's just bollocks then, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just bollocks. Yeah. I'd have to look it up.
I'm not going to defend it anymore, but that's just bollocks.
So yeah, Inhumans potential. I'm pretty optimistic about this, actually. I think what they're doing is very different, and it's not just another show. 8 episodes is exciting because one of the complaints with the Netflix shows, of course, is, well, most of them are very, very good, they all maybe overstay their welcome by about 3 episodes or so. So having 8 episodes tighter is kind of exciting.
Yeah, and the 2 Netflix shows we've watched with 8 episodes have been some of their best content.
That is true. That's Stranger Things and 3% we're referring to there.
Yeah.
So, no, that's good. Alright, let's get into some new shows then, shall we?
Go on then.
Some of it's just in development, some of it's straight pilot orders. A couple of comedies up first, and the first one is Untitled.
Ooh.
So we get to play a game where we get to title the Untitled. So this is CBS, so already you've lost interest, and that's fair. But CBS is developing a multi-camera sitcom, which is co-written, executive produced, and starring... oh dear.
Good start here.
Bojana
Bojana
Novakovic, I'm going to say.
Novakovic sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah, Novakovic, yeah.
That sounds right.
Bojana.
I'm not sure what you said before.
Bojana? Bojana. Aye, Bojana.
I'm inclined to think you were right the second time with the silent J.
Bojana.
Yeah.
Maybe. I swear half of this news every week is us just questioning how to pronounce some of these names. Interesting enough, I can't tell you what she was in, but when I seen her, there was a picture of her in the article, and I recognised her from stuff. Like
alright, that helps me a great deal.
No, but I'm just saying, like, she's not just like she is someone that's popped up in all stuff, like.
Right. Okay.
You know, well, actually, it says here she's from Rake, but I've never heard of that. But I've definitely seen her in stuff that I have seen.
It's a unique name. It's got to show up, right?
Oh, well, absolutely. Anyway, while you're looking, the Untitled comedy centres on a dutiful, people-pleasing daughter at the centre of a family that's breaking apart, and explores what it means to be single and looking for love from the perspective of 3 age groups. Bit generic sounding.
It is, but that's not necessarily...
See the amount of sitcoms... Or not even just sitcoms, the amount of show descriptions for these like pilots and stuff that say, and explores what it's like to be single, and, you know, it's one of those key phrases that always pops up.
It is, and it always kind of grates on me a little bit, but so much so that I'm just kind of over it now, that I'm almost numb to it, because it's a staple in everything now, it seems.
As for a name, I guess the only thing you could really latch on to there is the whole 3 age groups perspective, maybe.
Love knows no age.
Nah, that's terrible. I don't like that.
So it's something along those lines. I don't like that either, but...
Nah. The Generation Game. Forgetting the fact that it was a game show in the UK.
Yeah, I was just thinking, that's something else.
I don't know. Generational... These filthy millennials, and it'll be the older people complaining about...
I'd watch that.
There you go. That's an idea. It sounds kind of generic, and it's multi-camera on CBS, so I'm expecting to hate it. But yeah, You know,
Yeah.
every show gets a chance.
Yep.
Almost. This next one's not actually new, but it's been ordered to pilot. We've spoken about this before. I'll see if you... Now, it had a different title, or maybe it was untitled at the time. I can't remember. But it definitely didn't have this title. So let's see if you can remember this when I tell you the description. It is a half-hour single-camera comedy. It's about a blended family, about two polar opposite political pundits who fall in love despite all the odds and form an insta-family as well as work at a partnership. Do you remember this?
I do vaguely remember this.
Yeah. Married couple, one's, lefty, one's a righty.
Mm.
And they make it work. It's called Libby and Malcolm. And ABC has given a pilot order to it. And they've even cast a couple of actors. They've got Felicity Huffman and Courtney B. Vance in the lead roles.
Cool. Not sure I really rate the name that much.
It's them names, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And
So-
I feel like they could have put a bit more effort into that.
Yeah. Let us name your show, people. That's what we're saying. Alright, let's get on to some meat. Let's get on to some dramas.
Go on
And
then.
the first couple of which are actually interesting. Now, this first one has a very, very short description, but it is from JJ Abrams, and he likes to keep things close to his chest.
Maybe too much.
Right? It's also HBO.
Oh man, now my interest has gone from, I typically start very low when you start this segment because of the amount of shit that just gets churned up. And then you say JJ Abrams, I kind of go, well, okay, he's done some good stuff. Could be good. Not a definite guarantee, but, solid. And then HBO's like, ooh, okay, now give me a good premise and we'll get it up here.
One more word that might interest: science fiction.
We're almost there. Almost there.
It's called Glare, which I think is really funny. Like, call it Flare. It's JJ Abrams, call it Lens Flare.
I know.
But no, it's called Glare. It's another long drama, as you'd expect. And all we get in terms of description is it's about exploring the colonization of another planet. There you go.
I am.
That's all you get.
So it's so good that the hand's off the screen.
But it's all I need.
Yep.
Abrams, HBO, another planet, science fiction. I'm hitting the mic. I apologise, folks. I'm that
Far
excited.
too excited.
I'm far too excited. That's exactly what it is.
No, I'm down for this. I'm watching it.
Absolutely.
Don't care when it is. I'm sure we'll see it in 10 years' time. But
No. If we're not getting Westworld to early 2018, this can fill the late 2017 slot. Give me it then.
depends how expensive looking they want to make it. It may need longer.
Just hire more people. Get it done quicker. I don't care.
We have established that HBO does not give a damn about budgets.
Yeah.
It will throw money at anything.
But that's not one sentence, and I'm excited. So yes, give me it. Thank you, and please. All right, next up. This next one I didn't necessarily like when I read the opening part of it. It just it was a espionage thriller with a twist, right? And I was like, oh, okay, whatever.
Of course it is.
It's coming from Stars, but as I read the description, I got a lot more excited. So they're coming from Stars. They've got some casting here as well. Mido Hamada, who's going to be in Emerald City, funnily enough, and Kenneth Choi, who's been in some things. He was in American Crime Story this past year. They're going to be in a show called Counterpart, which is coming from Stars, and it's been ordered straight to series, as is kind of typical for cable, right? Described as an espionage thriller with a metaphysical twist, Counterpart is the story of Howard Silk, played by JK Simmons.
Okay.
A lowly cog in a bureaucratic agency who discovers that the agency he works for is really guarding a crossing into a parallel dimension. Through Howard and his counterpart on the other side, the show will navigate themes of identity, what-ifs, and lost love. JK Simmons, parallel dimensions, a second JK Simmons.
I'm kind of really in.
Yeah, I'm into this. I am really into this. I love this stuff. I love shows about parallel dimensions. I
love J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, I love J.K. Simmons. My kind of thing. This sounds great. There's a little bit more information about these, because the two actors I mentioned at the start, that's like kind of the main part of the news is that they were cast this week. So they get a little bit of,
But no one cares about them when you got J.K. Simmons.
True, but I'll just tell you who they are anyway. So Hamada will play Cyrus, an officer for counterintelligence who serves as Aldrich, who's played by Ulrich Thompson, his right-hand man. Cyrus values loyalty above all else, but will soon find that the loyalty is tested. And Choi will portray Bob Dwyer, a director in strategy within the OI, who I'm guessing is the company that he works for? I don't know. They just kind of throw that out there as if we're meant to know what that is. He serves and checks the balances for the operatives that work under him. Yeah, so I'm assuming that's the company that Simmons works for. But no, I'm down for this.
Yeah, and Stars have some quality content. I may not have watched a lot of it, but what I've seen looks good at least.
Yeah, I've not seen a lot of Star stuff. Obviously, I'm watching Ash vs Evil Dead, which I really enjoy. It's a bit low budget, but it kind of fits the charm of that show. That said, though, it doesn't need to look like a HBO show for this to be great. This can
no, absolutely.
This can look like a network show and be great, because if you've got JK Simmons, you've just got good ideas. I'm there. This is like I have never went so quickly from this sounds a bit meh, reading the description, then by the end of the description going, oh, I'm into this. So yeah, I complete 180 on my perceptive on that from the start.
Yeah, you start with espionage thriller, and it's like, okay. I mean, they're often all right.
Yeah, sure, it could be good, but I mean, I'm not feeling excited. And then it's like JK Simmons, parallel dimension. No, I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, you have JK Simmons acting against himself.
Oh, so good.
I'm excited already.
Yeah, so you get JK Simmons, you've got JK Simmons of Planet Earth 2.
Exactly. And I hope they just straight up call it that.
Callback. Anyway, next up, SyFy has given a straight-to-series pickup for Superstition, which is going to be a supernatural show, as you would expect. Mario Van Peebles, who will write, direct, and star in some episodes. I'm not sure if that means he'll only star in some, or if he'll star in all, and he'll just direct some and write some. But
I'm more inclined to think that.
Yeah, I'm more inclined to think that, but he's obviously heavily involved. Superstition centres around the Mosley family, owners of the only funeral home in a fictitious town on the outskirts of New Orleans, and keepers of the town's darkest secrets in history. Known for its haunted houses, elevated graveyards, odd townsfolk, and a rich history of unusual phenomena, the town is also a landing patch for the world's darkest manifestations of fear, guided into the world by an ancient mysterious malefactor named the Dredge.
Sounds all right.
Yeah,
sounds very maybe typical sci-fi.
Yeah, it sounds like it fits into the exact same sort of slot. Like this could come on right after Winona Earp, and they would complement each other.
Yeah, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. We very much enjoyed that show.
And if SyFy bring their new, slightly a bit more prestige look that they've been giving the last couple of years to a few shows, if they bring that as well, maybe it could end up being.
Yeah, I'm not sure this needs it based on the description.
No. This could be a cheap and cheery, fighting evil show, and I'd be quite happy with
with
that.
Yeah.
As long as the characters are fun, as long as the plot is at least mildly interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's fine. Next up, Working Title, who of course is a production company, has set up 3 different shows at 3 different networks. So this is. The next 3 are all from them at various networks. So the first one is The Man from Primrose Lane, which is based on a book, and is actually written by the writer of the book, James Renner. And this is coming to Fox, or at least it's got a script commitment at Fox. It's not greenlit per se yet. So this is it's set in West Akron, Ohio. An elderly man from Primrose Lane was murdered. Fast forward 4 years later to David Neff, the best-selling author of a true crime book about an Ohio serial killer. That was hard to say. An Ohio.
And that wasn't even the sentence's fault that time. That was just you.
That was just me. But an Ohio serial killer.
Often when that happens, they've done stupid sentence structure for some reason.
Yeah, often it is. Often it's not my fault, but that one was my bad.
That one was you.
Yeah. So this David Neff, this writer, he decides to investigate this murder. The closer he gets to uncovering the man's true identity, the more he begins to understand the reality-altering power of his own obsessions, and how they may be connected to the deaths of the old hermit and David's beloved wife. I could go either way on this one.
It sounds like it could be really cliched.
Could be really cliched, could be really generic, or it could be a really fun because it sounds like one mystery, so it's not like, at least it's not a procedural. It sounds like it's one thing that he's investigating.
Credit where it's due, yeah.
And I actually really like the title.
Oh, what's the title again?
The Man from Primrose Lane.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, I like that title. I really like that title. So, so that's on Fox, and Fox do some good stuff. So it could be.
Hey,
good.
they've just had 2 great hits at the minute.
Yeah, hopefully both of which will actually be seen as hits and get renewed. But at least from our perspective, we enjoyed 2 of their shows this year. Well, 3 including Scream Queens, but that was last year.
Two freshman shows.
2 new ones. All right, next up, NBC is the next one. Triangle. I'll give you one guess. What is Triangle about?
Do not be a love triangle. Do not be a love triangle.
No, I actually thought you might get it right. It's not a love triangle. It's about the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, okay. I think I'm just trained to feel the worst.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe if it had been a CW show, I'd have definitely been terrified.
Under the authority of the US Naval Intelligence, ex-lovers Wes Fallon and Marty Estevez investigate the bizarre phenomena associated with the area while searching for clues to the fate of Wes's brother and Marty's husband, Tom Fallon, who mysteriously disappeared there. But, well, unfortunately there is kind of a love triangle in there. I don't know if you noticed that.
I did not.
Wes Fallon and Marty Estevez are ex-lovers,
Right.
but Wes's brother is also Marty's husband, and he went missing. So there is,
Right,
there is a triangle there. Do you know what? See, when I read that earlier, I had to read it again just to get the
It's
relationships.
very convoluted, isn't
yeah,
it?
the way they worded it is very weird. But yeah, so because I got to the end of the first one, I'm like, wait, who's husband?
It's like they're trying to hide that there's a love triangle. It's like, look, it's there, but we don't want to advertise it.
And also, why isn't? You would think they'd all have the same last name or whatever, but whatever. I'm assuming Marty's a woman. It could be a gay love triangle. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It could go either way, but I'm inclined to think it's a woman just because it's NBC, and I don't see them having a gay love triangle as part of this kind of supernatural mystery show, but I could be wrong.
I'm almost sure CW will be the first one to do that.
Probably, yeah. It's right up their alley.
It is. I don't even mean that as a bad thing. I just mean,
oh yeah, no.
If someone's got to have a love triangle and it be inclusive, it's probably going to be them, isn't it?
Yeah, they're definitely leading the charge in a lot of sense that way. But
Yeah.
that's Triangle, and then the last one is ABC, and it's called DTLA. I'm not sure how I like the acronym as a title.
DTLA.
Yeah.
What does it stand for?
I think it's Downtown Los Angeles.
You think?
Well, I've just read ahead and that phrase is there, but they don't specifically say it stands for that.
Okay.
Because it's set against the backdrop of the up-and-coming downtown Los Angeles, so I'm assuming it's DTLA.
Okay.
It centers on
That sounds hipster trash as a title, though.
it does. It centers on a celebrity choreographer who must fight to protect her status, family and business, and secrets while she grooms a vulnerable young protege who will put her back on top. So it's a dancing drama set in downtown Los Angeles.
Didn't we just have a dancing drama?
Yeah, a few weeks ago we had one. I think Fox was doing one.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
that was about a dance school. This is about like a dance Jedi or
At her Padawan, yeah.
or Padawan, yes.
Yeah. I get that, but just two in the space of 2 weeks that are dance based.
This always happens though. You always get these weird pairs of things that happen at the same time.
They do trend together in TV. It's like the focus groups. They all use the same focus groups. That's what it is.
Must be. That's the only. Or one of them hears about it in advance, like from like a leak, and like, oh right, we better do something as well.
Yeah, there's no way we
gonna be
get
a
all
hit.
these time travel shows at the same time.
Yeah, I think that might just be a general conscious thing where, like, because everyone's doing them. Like, we have so many, like, Legends, Timeless. What's the one that's coming up with Jack the
Time
Ripper?
after time.
Time After Time. Yeah, tons of them. And even Frequency is kind of a time travel show. So
Yeah.
all that. Anyway, moving on to some of the maybe lesser interesting stuff just here at the end. A couple more shows to cover. One is another NBC show. It's called Good Girls, and it's about it's about several suburban wives and mothers who suddenly find themselves in a desperate circumstance and decide to stop playing it safe, risking everything to take their power back. I have no idea what that's about.
Yeah, if they wanted to make me interested, they couldn't have done a much worse job.
Yeah, that was incredibly vague. Like, we could speculate. Like, is it like Desperate Housewives, where there's like a mystery on the street, and they're in danger of an actual threat, or is it like just like more of a a social status drama where they're trying to like.
I'm more inclined to guess that one.
But I don't know. It's hard to.
Maybe it'll do both, and that'll be the point. I don't. I just.
I'm inclined
What's
to.
the point?
I'm inclined to think it's the latter because it's called Good Girls, so it's them breaking this like, oh, we're not doing what we're supposed to. We're
Yeah.
breaking the mold, so we're not good girls anymore. You know, that kind of thing they're going for. I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll be okay, but nothing about that screams, oh, this is something that you will want to watch. This is something that you'll be excited about.
Yeah, I have no interest.
Like we always say, though, like almost any pitch that we don't think sounds that great, right directing, right acting, right actor, right script. Yeah,
there's very few concepts in general that would immediately, like, permanently turn me off a project.
Yeah, like I say, it's all about the quality of some of these. If this ends up being really well done, then we might just love it anyway, just because it's good, not because.
Yeah, and it happens.
And likewise, shows about alternate universes could end up sucking just because the writing's terrible, and even though we were excited for it, we'll end up hating it. So.
Yeah, I mean, like it happens all the time. I mean, even just as recently as Pitch is probably the big example where we know nothing or care very little about baseball, yet it's a great show.
Yeah, right home run.
Really, you got through the whole damn season final without saying that, and then you did it anyway. You're such a dick.
I've been waiting all the year for that. All year.
Literally, we got through all 10 episodes without making that pun, and then you had to ruin it.
Yeah, us liking that show was a real curveball.
I'm done. I'm just going to get up and leave in a second. Because the thing is, I appreciate a good pun, but these are too obvious to be good. These are so thought out of that these have been gestating for the last 12 weeks or so that you're just kind of getting them all out now before you don't mention Pitch again for 6 months. And I'm sick of it. You should have used them when you had the chance.
Are you saying I swung too late?
Yes, I'm saying it was a swing and a miss.
Oh god! And that was 3 puns that you didn't like, so I guess that's a strike. That's 3 strikes. I'm out.
Yeah. And with that, can we move on?
Sure, we got one more show to talk about. CBS. So again, you're immediately lost interest. It's called Extraction, and that's actually another really short description. But it's about a brilliant CIA field officer and complex chameleon who leads a new agency program to continue the war on terror by operating on US soil for the first time in history.
That description could literally not have made me care less.
Yeah, no, it sounds so generic and boring.
CBS Extraction was the title, right?
Yes.
Like, yeah, okay. And then you go, CIA operative who's a chameleon and says, he's amazing at everything. Nope.
CBS, who this season brought us MacGyver, which, by the way, is getting good ratings. MacGyver is one of the most successful shows of the new episodes this year, and that pains me. It pains me to my core.
Especially when no one watched Pitch. Bunch of bastards.
Oh my god, I can't believe that show's doing well. I hate it so much. This sounds just really generic. Will it be offensively bad? I don't know. We'll watch the pilot and find out.
Do you know what? CBS, I'd put money on it being offensively bad.
After MacGyver, I really can't.
There's no arguing with that, is there?
I really can't expect anything else from them at this point. I don't know. I don't know. People like The Good Wife. I've not watched The Good Wife. Maybe that's.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You're only as good as your last hit.
Which is MacGyver.
Which is MacGyver, exactly.
Okay, fair. But there you go. That's the news this week. That's everything.
Oh, okay.
We wrapped up.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. And there was like 2 or 3 genuinely interesting things in the middle there.
There was. That doesn't happen that often.
Yeah, so, good stuff. Now, admittedly, this is all from our perspective. We obviously have a taste that's fairly aligned with each other. You might have been way more interested in some of the other ones, but I imagine, though, if you watch all of our coverage on our channel, you probably have, again, a more similar taste to us than...
Yeah, we tend to cover a similar range of things.
So I imagine you're probably on a similar wavelength if you care enough about the news to sit with us for 40 minutes on it. So
unless you're just here for Pitch, which is kind of out the wheelhouse of everything else that we do.
Yeah, unless you're just here for Pitch, in which case you got some quality puns right there in the bottom of the 9th. All right, fine. That's the wrapping up news, which does lead us to pick maybe our favourites from this week. And it's kind of a weird week because we had a lot of mid-season finales, but technically we count the week from our last news episode, which does mean that we also include the season finale of not Game of Thrones.
Westworld. You don't even watch Game of Thrones.
I know, I don't. I don't like Game of Thrones. Westworld finale was this week. I'm losing it. I'm loopy.
Jesus.
Jeez. Oh, man.
So, see, this is a real tough week because obviously Westworld feels like the obvious default pick.
It does.
But that kind of feels boring. So can we just talk about that and then pick something else each?
Sure. Westworld was fantastic. Great end to the first season. It answered almost all the mysteries between that and the last episode for season 1, while setting up new and interesting and intriguing things to keep us stewing over the break for season 2. It was
everything
quite frankly
we could have wanted in a season 5.
Yeah, and it's funny because I hear people saying, "Oh, it's just like Lost," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's great. I love Lost, so suck it."
Yeah.
But better because as much as I loved Lost, I think this did a better job of making sure there was enough there that wrapped up neatly in a season 1 plot to make it feel satisfying in that sense. Whereas Lost, there was a lot of... But Lost was only off for a few months and then it was back, so it didn't, have to...
Yeah, I mean, not to be any spoilers of our review, but like we said, if this had been the last episode of the show in general,
we'd be...
It'd been okay. No, we'd be sad that it's over.
We'd be
relatively... okay with what it gave us.
Yeah, we'd be relatively satisfied because it did close a lot of things off.
We wouldn't feel angry that we deserved more answers. We got everything that we needed to.
But we're getting season 2, and that's great.
Exactly.
So, fantastic. We're not getting till 2018 the back, which is why this JJ Abrams show better get going and give us a SyFy.
If not, they better
HBO
have
show.
something else, like a nice little surprise, so we had a night of.
Yeah. Something good in that time of the year. Because Game of Thrones should be the summer, I think, is from what we know.
Yeah, it's after the Leftovers. So what Leftovers is April, so we're probably looking June time.
Yeah, so we need something else for the fall next year, so hopefully they give us a good one. But, so that's the obvious choice. So from everything else, though, from the mid-season finales and... What would I pick? That's a good question. I just assumed it would be Westworld, so now you're making me pick another one.
No, that's why I thought. Yeah. Otherwise, we'd just both go Westworld. It's boring.
Yeah, you're
Obviously, that's the answer. I think I'm going to go... Because obviously, this is not necessarily... it's certainly not the best show of the week. But the most surprising? Arrow.
Oh yeah, definitely the most surprising. Like, no question, that was the most surprising because it didn't suck.
We didn't. This is the first time in a long time where, barring a crossover event, we didn't hate the episode of Arrow, and I feel like that is noteworthy in itself and worth mentioning.
It is. I wouldn't pick it for. Oh, honestly, I'd probably make it with Pitch. After Westworld.
That is a solid choice. I'm not going to dispute that.
I'm thinking everything. I mean, I enjoyed Flash quite a bit. I enjoyed Legends. I enjoyed Timeless this week, but I think. And I enjoyed Ash vs Evil Dead, but I think Pitch...
And Shield.
And Shield was good, as well, yeah. But Pitch just... Yeah, Pitch... It was great, but it also surprised me at points, and I think that's worth something. So... Yeah,
like, obviously, it did a lot of things that you don't expect things to happen in a series or season final, and especially even in the episode, things that you'd expect to happen in any episode of a show of that style, it avoids. So, very big props to it there.
Yeah, solid week of TV. And obviously, next week is obviously much lighter. We still have Scream Queens, we still have Timeless, and we still have Incorporated. Which obviously, episode 2 is this past week, episode 3 is next week. So you can check out our reviews of that if you want to. And that's what's coming next week, but we also, of course, have our end-of-year specials. We're going to do Best Show of the Year, maybe Best New Show. And I think we even talked about doing a top 10 individual episodes of the year, which me and Connor are, unlike the other ones where we just sort of discuss and pick our own, we're actually going to do, we're going to sit down and corroborate and come up with our almost cancelled top 10 episodes of TV of the year. And that should be sometime next week, if not week after, but that's kind of your Christmas break stuff. Man in the High Castle starting next weekend, season 2. And we weren't super great on season 1, but it's doing this genius thing where it's on when nothing else is on, so we're going to watch it anyway.
It's just at that point where it wasn't awful enough that we can go, no, not a chance in hell.
Yeah, it was mediocre, but we're going to give season 2 a try because it is on at a time where there's nothing else. So it'll get a shot. We'll give it a chance.
Kind of gets a free pass, doesn't it?
Even
if it didn't have a showrunner.
That said, if we get like 2 episodes into it and we are just miserable, we might call it quits there and then. We're not going to promise that we'll finish it, but we'll give it a chance.
Promise we'll try it.
Yeah, we'll give it a chance. Because Man in the High Castle was a show that I wanted to be great. I loved the idea.
Love the concept of it.
Yeah.
And even in the season, it had some fantastic ideas that it played with.
But it spent so much time with character drama that just felt like it was spinning its wheels. So, that's a shame. But
whoa. Cat's getting vicious. Everything moved. You can just see him poking his head around.
That wasn't him.
No. You can see the other one going, wait, what just happened? He's just like, I want to know what's going on.
You little menacing... Oh. He tried to jump up onto the table and he just hit the monitor.
I can see that.
Yeah, and the monitor just like properly spun round. That was diabolical, Cat. How dare you? How
Which
rude.
one was it?
Firefly. It was a ginger. Of course it was a ginger.
Gingers doing what gingers do best.
Yeah, ruining
Being
things.
dicks. Yeah.
Oh dear. So yeah, where was it? That's what's coming up next week or so. Obviously there's a Doctor Who Christmas special, which I am supposed to be catching up on Doctor Who for, so we can review the Christmas special.
You will.
Here's
be caught
hoping.
Up in time. You're gonna put down the PS4 controller. You're not gonna go away after this and play Doom or whatever else you were gonna play. You're going to go and watch Doctor Who because you're still on season
7.
Episode.
I have watched 5 episodes of season 7.
Yeah, so you've got what, 2.5
plus specials.
So you've basically got about 3 series worth. So go and bloody watch some. And look, we obviously talk a lot about superheroes, and the Christmas special this year is a superhero episode. So we have to be talking about this. We can't miss that. It's sci-fi and superheroes.
We'll see. I'll see what I can do.
All right. Well, we're doing Sherlock, right?
Sherlock's
a week later, but
yeah, Sherlock's New Year's. I don't have to catch up in that. So yeah.
No. I just thought. I mean, who knows when the next news episode will be if they don't give us any.
That's true. I expect there'll be at least 1 week off, but then again, if they give us stuff to talk about, I see no reason why we can't record a news episode in between Christmas and New Year. Like, if they give us the material, we'll do it. If and if there's only 1 or 2 things, maybe we'll let it roll up for a couple of weeks and do one after them. But we should be back next week. I don't see it going dry next week quite yet. I see it, if it's going to go dry, it'll be the week of Christmas and maybe the week of New Year. That'll be when it dries up, if it does at all, because it may not.
It might.
I can't remember last year if it did, but
what we'll have these people trying to sneak things in like they did on the election night.
Yeah, quiet cancellation. No one will notice if I just put it out now. Christmas Day.
Yeah. No one's paying attention on Christmas Eve, right?
I feel bad for the person who has to release the press release. They're working on Christmas Day. I've got to come in and announce they're cancelling pitch.
Well, that's why they just go, I can't be asked going away from a turkey. Whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to... screw it, I'll just send a tweet. They'll get the message.
Anyway, guys, that has been this week's news show. Thank you very much for sticking around and listening to us ramble and the cats destroying things and whatever else happens on this weekly show. So, yeah, let us know what you thought of the news that was in this week's episode, what your favourite TV of the week was. Like and subscribe and all that stuff. Get us on Twitter at mild_fuzz. And remember, keep tuned in for next week because we've got some best of the year videos going up. So thanks very much, guys. We'll see you next time.